We are now joined by Refilwe Mokoena, the Child Safety and Protection Manager at the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund, for more on the judgment on the Joshlin Smith trial. Refilwe, thank you so much for your time this evening here in SABC News. Let's start off here. As the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund, what is your reaction to the judgment we saw earlier today?
So as the fund, we welcome the outcome of the trial, particularly given that this was a very highly visible, emotionally charged case. The verdict is so important in terms of bringing some level of accountability that's needed when children are harmed or placed at risk. Of course, our thoughts still go out to Joshlin's family in that her whereabouts are still unknown, but we very much welcome the outcome and the verdict today.
And what do you make of comments of that nature where we saw Joshlin Smith's grandmother there saying that as much as we've seen this judgment take place today, we still don't know the whereabouts of Joshlin Smith?
Yes, that's exactly part of what is so heartbreaking about this and why, from our perspective, justice has been served in that the perpetrators have been held accountable. But it just goes to show that children are still so vulnerable in our society, and we still need to take justice further in terms of finding her whereabouts as well as continuing preventative efforts to protect children.
And Refilwe, can we really say that justice has been served in this regard, particularly now that we continue to ask various questions when it comes to child safety, and when you look at this case where we ask the whereabouts of this little girl?
I think in a legal sense, to the point that a strong message has been sent that it can happen that crimes against children will not go unpunished. That is critical, particularly because there are so many incidents similar to Joshlin's that don't receive this level of national visibility. But exactly as you're saying, justice must still go further to ensure protection at a family, community level, and also for actually finding children who go missing.
And as the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund, now that we have seen this verdict take place in the Western Cape High Court, and we now find ourselves en route to seeing some sort of sentencing that will be done, what is your take in terms of the type of sentence you would like to see as the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund?
I mean, we are trusting the law to take its course, as we always do. So we hope that the sentencing will reflect the gravity of the crimes that have been committed, particularly because these are crimes against a child, but also in a way crimes against our collective values as a society. I think one of our ethos and some of the founding values which Tata Madiba created this organization on was the fact that how a society treats its children is a reflection of that society's character. So an attack on a child like Joshlin and so many others is also an attack on our collective values.
And overall, Refilwe, when we talk about child safety in the country, I mean, we've seen, the issue around Joshlin Smith, and just yesterday in Gauteng, we saw another child who had gone missing and was subsequently then found in a dam. What does this say about the protection of children in our country?
It says that children basically are not safe in our country. It's, as we said, it's an excellent result that at least we are seeing some justice being done in Joshlin's case. But for every Joshlin, there are millions of others who we don't even get to know about. So one of the things that we really emphasize is the importance of child protection systems. We're coming up to National Child Protection Week at the end of this month. And that can bring a particular focus on the need for communities to be able to identify when children are at risk, when children go missing, where they should go, the social and statutory services that need to respond. So this has been a great example of communities working together with the criminal justice system, with the police, but it clearly shows how often children go missing, how often children are harmed, that we need more models like this and we need more examples like this.
Certainly, Refilwe, thank you so much for your time. That's Refilwe Mokoena. She is the Child Safety and Protection Manager at the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund.